Hello, good game. Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. I hope you're all having a magical day. Thank you so much for taking the time to support the channel. Kamigawa, the Neon Dynasty, is almost here. We get some new cards and actually a new planeswalker to look at, which is super exciting. Some details about the set, the release date, most importantly, and some other cool information for you guys within today's video. So smash that thumbs up button to support the channel. Subscribe if you want more great content like this. And yeah, let's just take a look right away at what's going on. So first up, we just jump into the Wikipedia here for MTG. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is going to give you all the information you need to stay up to date. And this will be updated as, new details do come out, which is exciting. So you get the set details, the storyline, the marketing, which, we don't really care about too much. We'll get that as the story is released. And then we had the reveal teaser, which is pretty cool. So it was a scrambled image that did create a new planeswalker, but we're going to show you that and other spoilers to wrap up today's video. What's going on in January, though, that you may not know about that is probably important to mention is that players can step into the streets of Kamigawa with a special web-based augmented reality experience exclusive to WPN stores. Scanning the QR code in the store will, with your mobile device, your phone, whatever, will give you access to this AR experience. So you're going to get different things to interact with within the store, spoilers, maybe other events that they're not really talking about yet. So that's going to be pretty cool. Gives you a reason to go check out your local shop, right? And then the schedule. This is what we really want. The release for Arena on February 10th, 2022. Womp, womp, womp. That is almost 2 months away still. Very sad, but it is what it is. And we'll have some new spoilers coming out between now and then to keep us fed. Promotional cards through the game day, newly... well, not newly, but remarketed back to the old game day. It was the store championship for a while, and if you show up to the participating stores, you partake in the event, you can win yourself some unique cards, and first place is going to get Atsushi, the Blazing Sky, which is a really cool dragon that we're going to talk about here in a second, again, with those spoilers. Tokens, emblems, and markers. There's going to be more of these announced, obviously, and right now... we have a ninja that cannot be blocked, which is pretty cool. Themes and mechanics, nothing's been revealed yet. We do have a card type as ninjas, as we'd all expect this. And also spirit dragons. It has one cycle, and they will be legendary dragons. And these dragons are, well, the first one's nasty. I can assume the others will be as well. And we're going to showcase that just in a little bit here as well. Pre-constructed decks, buckle up, upgrades unleashed for the commanders. We'll see where we get with that. There's been no release information there yet. And this was the spoiler from the video. The planeswalker all scrambled up here. We got a nice screenshot to show you guys. And then, just better than that, we'll show you guys the cards straight up. So let's start at the bottom. We've got some new lands, and they're spicy. These are nice looking lands, and they go really well with the pre-existing Japanese art we already have in the game for some of those historic cards via the Mystical Archive, right? So this is cool. I know many historic fans will be very excited for these lands to kind of complete that feel of their deck. So, just kind of go through them a little bit more slowly. There's 2 of each kind. So here's Force 1, here's Force 2, Mountain with the Dragon, hey-oh. Mountain 2 with the forge in the background. That's still pretty cool. And then, the 2 swamps. I actually thought this was a mountain, but, you got the swamp symbol there. You'll figure it out. There's a lot of red there. The islands are pretty cool. Really liking the islands. And then, of course, the plains to wrap it up. So the lands look good. Into our first card here. Kyota, Soul of Kamigawa. This is an unconfirmed spoiler, but it looks pretty official to me. It's just not been released by Wizards yet. And how do people get their hands on this information, leak it, and then continue to hold that place of employment? I'll never know. Because there's only so many people who have access to this physical card. You know what I mean? How hard would it be to, do that investigation? Anywho, I'm grateful for your risk, my friend, because I love seeing these spoilers as soon as I can get my hands on them. For 4 mana, this is a 3/3 with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, another target permanent gains indestructible for as long as you control Kyota. This is fairly cool because it's permanent, so we can put this on an enchantment, a planeswalker, heck, even a land, which is decent. So that's cool. It has flash, and then you can pump it by 5 mana for +5 toughness, +5 power. It's going to be an 8/8. A woof. So that's going to lace in some serious damage into your opponent. The ability will cost 1 mana of each color, right? It's plains, an island, a swamp, a mountain, and a forest to get the job done. But that is honestly not that hard with the current mana availability. We have all those dual lands, right? So it should be pretty easy. Next up, we have Echo of Death's Wail. Now, this is pretty juicy. A 3/3 with flying and haste. No converted mana cost here that I can, see on the card. So this would, to me, make it a card with Disturb, except it doesn't exile itself when it dies, so maybe not. Or it could be just a transform mechanic of some sorts. It's not a vampire or werewolf, so I don't really... It has this symbol, like there's a backside to it. Maybe one of you guys knows a little bit more about this, but yeah. Anyways, a 3/3 with flying and haste, and when it enters the battlefield, gain control of all rat tokens. Whenever the Echo of Death's Wail attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. The card's good, right? If your opponent is running a Maskwood Nexus, you just steal all their stuff and attack and sacrifice to draw some stuff as well. Maybe you could make your opponent have rat tokens in another way, right? We have, what is it? Nafri's Betrayal, I think, is the, or the Trickster God's Heist, I think is the one, actually. The Dimir Saga, where you can exchange control of permanents. You could have the Maskwood out and exchange it to your opponent and then play Echo, take all their stuff. Right, stuff like this. So that's going to be a cool jank card. I'm really curious to see how we get it in play, though, right? That's something I'm unsure of right now. Anywho, moving on, we have the... oh, you guys, this is going to be a hard set for me, in all honesty. Takanuma. Abandoned Mire. This is a legendary land in which we can tap it to add a swamp or black source. It has channel for 4 to discard itself, mill 3 cards, then return a creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. This ability costs 1 less generic mana to activate for each legendary creature that you control. It is what it is. I think that this will be played for sure somewhere. It's probably not something I'd focus on. It's obviously going to be a rare, so, it's there. It will fit, the Golgari Recursion deck, the Deck Diggler deck that I have would go perfectly with this. However, is it worth it for, someone just starting out looking to complete their collection to focus on? Probably not. Moving on. This is where we get into the spicy cards. Oh, Toledo's. So David Suzuki, a.k.a. Kato shizuki, is a multicolored planeswalker within Dimir, blue and black for 3, 1 generic mana on top of the 2 colors, right? 3 loyalty as he or she enters, LOL. At the beginning of your end step, if it entered the battlefield this turn, it will, he phases out. Boom! He phases out. Nailed it. I'm surprised they didn't say they. But I guess if you look into the lore, I'm sure there's a gender assigned to the character. Anyways, we're way off base. +1, draw a card, discard a card unless you've attacked with a creature this turn. Fairly decent. It has to be a squirrel card that attacks. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It doesn't say it here on the card, but if you look at the art, there's a cyber squirrel. That's what you want to be attacking with for sure. -2, create a 1/1 blue ninja creature token. With this, creature can't be blocked I honestly don't know why it's not a Squirrel Ninja creature token. It should be. It really, really should be. And then -7, you get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, search your library for a blue or black creature, put it into the battlefield, then shuffle. So where does this really fit? Because it doesn't seem all that great. What does seem all that great is the alternative art, especially this Japanese art. Holy Toledos, you know what I mean? Man, I really like this art too. Like, feels like I used to watch this show when I was younger. Anywho, where I think that this Planeswalker fits well is maybe within a Sultai build. Let's add green to it. We have Vorinclex in play, and then we drop Kato. Kato comes into play as a 6 loyalty Planeswalker, +1. We attack with Vorinclex, so we just get a nice draw, which is pretty cool. Then it phases out at 7 loyalty. Phases in on our upkeep next turn, boom, -7, and then we're pulling either a blue or black creature out from our graveyard to the battlefield, library to the battlefield, and then shuffle, which is great. We can get really anything we want in play. Troxel is a good example of something that would be great to go for off the start. So that probably is the most feasible playline that I can think of with this card. However, I'm sure it can fit in just a control shell through the draw, right? Draw. Drawing is always good. Moving on, we have the Blazing Sky. Atsushi, the Blazing Sky, her 4 mana, a 4/4 with flying and trample. When it dies, choose one. Either exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards or create 3 treasure tokens. Woof. 3 treasure tokens? Are you sure? Is that enough? You don't want to do 4 or 5? That's going to be pretty good if you're running, obviously, the Goldspan Dragon. If you're playing Alchemy, the producing all of these dragon spirits is going to be ridiculous because, as we remember, the wiki said we'll get a mythic dragon spirit for each of the colors. We only have the red one revealed so far officially. We've seen the white one as well, but, we'll have to wait for the official release on that because, maybe things change. Who knows? But all of these dragons appear to be very good. And if you are playing them in Alchemy, reducing them through the whelp is going to be crazy. If not, I still think this is totally viable. Running the Reckless Stormseeker on 3. This is on 4. Now it has haste as well. It seems like it's going to be enough to get the job done. If something happens to it, it replaces itself with 2 other cards that you can now play as well. So you're not really too worried about decking yourself with the aggro decks, right? Sometimes if you're going crazy and they remove your creature, now it's like top deck, and that's really bad. And this is going to help you kind of refill that field quite quickly. So I'm liking it. I'm really liking the alt art on some of these cards, which is really cool. Speaking of alt art, you guys are going to lose your lids here when you see the High Det Suju, Devouring Chaos. This is a Ogre Demon for 4, and let's just show you guys the art right away. Holy Toledos. 1 in each color. You get them different ways. More info on that as it's revealed. However, the creature, the art's cool, but the creature is actually really decent as well. For 4 mana, a 4/4, we can pay 1 swamp, sacrifice a creature to scry 2. This is nice. We're not tapping for the sacrifice. We can just drain our swamps into sacrifices, scry. Really similar to the Woe Strider, except you have to pay for it, but you get scry 2 instead of scry 1. We can also pay 3, tap it to exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a non-land card this way, the Devouring Chaos deals damage equal to the exiled card's mana value to any target. So, if you have a damage spell that goes out to any target, boom, you exile it. It costs 4, it costs 5. There's 5 damage. Now you cast that spell for another 5 damage. I think that's going to be good, right? And then you still have the sacrifice to scry to look for those appropriate cards, which is cool as well, trying to engineer your library with those scries. Anywho, the art is cool. The card is cool. The set is pretty decent. That's all we have, spoiler-wise, for you guys today. Official release, February 18th. Arena release, February 10th. And remember, if you are out and about checking out, your WPN store locally, fire up the augmented experience. I'm sure someone who's working in the store can help you do that if you can't figure it out. And yeah, more news on what's going on with Kamigawa on the channel as it's released. We have 302 cards plus within the set. Neo is the expansion code, which is pretty cool. And, here we have the symbols, which is decent. And then there's a little bit of art released as well. So, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a magical day. Take care, and we'll see you soon in the next.